any of them slot into their grid positions here. But the grid then for this one, as we've already had a spinner. I do apologise, that's a case the commentator's cursed there, but we'll go through the grid. It's Julian Dermer on pole position, alongside is Pelle van Echtelt. Second row is Mick Klinkers in third and Jim Darnan in fourth. Third row is Milano Shiphorst and Noah Steedhouder. Fourth row is Nicky Naruhito Tomasa and Julius Grabov. Fifth row is Tygo Holthausen and Lawrence van Vlaanderen. Sixth row is Jara Kivits-Bosch and Lennart Kerster. Seventh row is Mika Vonk and Tim Hansler. Eighth row is Matthias Klever and Max van der Meer. And all on their own, on the ninth row of the grid, is Tran Van Melek with that 3-place grid penalty. So that's how your grid looks then, or at least how it should look. We'll see if I can spot, or if we can spot, potentially the 1-1-2 is the one that went off into the gravel. That would be Noah Steehouder. And Noah would have started in 6th place. So Noah looking like have to start from the back of the grid, as we've got drivers already taking up formation here out of the S's. Track is improving. It's not quite there yet. I couldn't see any slick tyres being bolted onto any of the karts, although as the track ever improves, team members as well will be looking at the skies. Very contrasting weather reports on this one. As one driver gets to the front. Now that is Noah Steehouder, who's trying to take over 6th place. So he's now slotted into position as Noah. So he's been able to get himself back up there, ready for this start. As the front two tiptoeing their way onto the final corner. They're certainly in formation. As they make their way through in towards the out of that short curved straight. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but it is a bit of a curved straight. Normally in the dry, it's flat out through that section, and you get to the left-hander, which brings you onto the straight towards that left-hander, the flying left-hander, the penultimate place to slow down the karts, at least in the wet weather conditions. It'll be pretty much flat out through there if you can, with the gravel trap waiting on the right-hand side. So it's Julian Dermer on pole position, Pelle van Echtelt in 2nd place, very much in formation, very much making sure that they both keep in formation as well. Julian Dermer in the 1-2-2, Pelle van Echtelt in the 1-4-2. Mick Klinkers in the 104 has a huge opportunity here to grab some much-needed points, but he needs a good pre-final. Alongside Jim Darnan then in the number 1-2-4. So then, gingerly, our drivers make their way through in towards the final corner then, the hairpin, as we are ready to start the Minimax's pre-final. 10 minutes and 2 laps. And the start is good. We are racing here. And side by side, our 2 leaders go then as we make our way towards the hairpin for the first time of asking then. Oh, and both. One of them at least goes off and rejoins, but right at the back of the field then, as drivers now make their way through, trying to see what they can do. But one of the leaders off then in these early stages, as I'm trying to work out if it was Dermer or if it's Pelle van Echtelt, as we make our way through in towards out of the S's section. Plenty of positions being changed over. That's a position gain for Jim Darnan in the number 1-2-4. And as we make our way onwards then towards this flying left-hander. So it was the 1-2-2 that is leading the way. So it was Pelle van Echtelt who suffered. Oh, we've got a spinner there as well at the flying left-hander. It's the 1-5-1. That's Julius Grabov, who gets back facing the right way and going again. But huge disappointment there for Pelle van Echtelt, who will have to try and negotiate and navigate his way through the field to get back some positions then, battling for position then. That was the 114, I think that was, getting a move done. As we make our way in these early stages of the race then. Huge shame for Van Echtelt. But we have positions to be decided then. Number 129 of Tygo Holthausen has done a remarkable job of getting through the order then, because Holthausen started, I believe, on the 5th row of the grid, and Holthausen is now up into 2nd place. So that's a remarkable drive from Tygo. Through in towards the final corner we go, and Julian Dermer is going to be next in line. There goes the 129 of Holthausen. Then it's Klinkers in 3rd place then, as our battle for the lead makes its way towards the hairpin then, as Dermer still leads from Holthausen. Pressure being applied though from the 129. Tygo Holthausen looking for a move up the inside, but can't find the gap. Julian Dermer defends firmly, heading away through the S's section now, as we get that short run towards the tight left-hander. It takes us onto that bit of a stretch towards the flying left-hander. Tygo Holthausen not quite in position here to take advantage. A good run through that left-hander into second S's, down in towards the second hairpin, might have an opportunity. And Holthausen gets a really good run. In fact, they're going to work together here at these early stages. Not uncommon to see, but Holthausen has decided that with Julian Dermer, they're going to work together to get away from Mick Klinkers at this early stage, although they're battling. That temporary alliance didn't last very long, as Holthausen looking down the inside then gets the move done. And from what I thought Holthausen was saying to Julian Dermer, let's work together, perhaps I misinterpreted. Nevertheless, Holthausen takes over the lead then from Dermers, who goes to 2nd place as they make their way towards the fast left-hander. Change for the lead in these early stages. That's also Mick Klinkers in the 104, who's not too far behind our leaders, the battle for the lead, as they make their way through out of the hairpin. Onwards then we go then. So new race leader across the line. Holthausen leads from Dermer in 2nd, Klinkers in 3rd place, and then it's Darnan in 4th. 125 across the line, that's Tomasa in 6th place. Got a good battle for 7th place here. It's the 166 who heads it at the moment in Lennart Kerster. As we head our way through in towards that hairpin. Oh, a spinner in the background there just as we cut away. So easy in these tricky conditions now. It's getting closer to being damp rather than being wet out on the circuit, and you get that greasy surface as well. That doesn't help for drivers as we're going too wide. Seeing a couple of drivers there battling away further down the field. Oh, and off onto the gravel goes the number 122. That was Julian Dermer, who was in 2nd place and has dropped at least 3 positions there, Dermer. So I think he's rejoined in 5th place there. A 142 is sizing up a move as well on the 166. That's Pelle Van Echtelt, who's trying to find his way and fight his way back through the field, trying to battle away with Lennart Kerster through in towards the 1st corner. Up ahead of them as well is the number 133, which is Mika Vonk, as Van Echtelt again seeing what he can do, but can't quite find a way through that time around. Goes slightly deep in towards the 1st hairpin. But Pelle Van Echtelt, considering he had to, well, he spun at the 1st hairpin, had to recover his way through the field, got himself up to 9th place at the moment. It's not a bad recovery drive, and we're just over halfway through in terms of time elapsed. We'll still have 2 more racing laps after that. But it's a good lap though from Tygo Holthausen, who leads the way now, ahead of Max Klinkers, with that mistake then from Julian Dermer. Fastest lap of the race goes to Tygo Holthausen, 55.2 from our race leader. As we watch on then, that's the battle we're keeping a close eye on for what is 8th place between Kerser in the 166 and Van Echtelt in the 142. Up ahead of them as well is Vonk in the number 133. And in fairness, not too far up is Nikki Naruhito Tomasa in the number 125. And that could all bunch up to be a battle for 6th place in this stage of the race. As they all make their way through line of stern for now. Van Echtelt really closing up now to the back of Kerster. They get back onto the power, and Van Echtelt, did he get a move done there? I think he did against the 166, yes. So Van Echtelt coming out of left-hander before that little straight, got the move done then, and a battle here emerging down in towards the hairpin. We will go. It's the 144, I think, of Hansler. Yes, it is, who's putting the pressure on the number 127 of Van der Meer. So Tim Hansler definitely looking for a move here. That is a battle right now for 11th place. But Hansler has to be careful because the car right behind him is Kiewitzbosch in the number 103. That's Yara Kiewitzbosch, who's looking to take full advantage of battling up ahead. Can Yara find a way through? Yep, as too deep runs Tim Hansler, and able to take that position away as Pelle Van Echtelt looking for another move then, or at least trying to find little pieces, little bits of action to find a way back up the order. As Van Echtelt comes across the line in 9th place there. Battle on the screen then, the 125 and the 133. That's Nicky Naruhito Tomasa in the 125 and Mika Vonk in the 133. That's a battle for 6th place right now. As trying the old up and under. As behind them as well, Van Echtelt looked like they got the move done against Kerster then. We're in towards out of this sweeping section. Back on the power we go. Short burst down towards the flying left-hander. As we see then with just under 90 seconds of the race still to run. It's Holthausen who leads. Another fastest lap of the race for Holthausen, 54.6. The gap to Klinkers is now 3.4 seconds. There's the battle for 3rd place. Julian Dermer has done well to recover. Back up to 3rd place. Looks like Julian's got past Jim Darnan then to get back up into 3rd place. So really good of Julian Dermer to keep the head down, not let that first, I would say first corner, but really it's first braking zone affect the rest of the race. Dermer's done very well indeed to recover positions at this stage. 46 seconds left on the clock then as Holthausen makes their way across the line. So in essence now we'll have 3 laps remaining of this race. 2nd place across the line is Mick Klinkers, who's just set a personal best lap. So drivers clearly feeling more and more confident lap after lap in the circuit. As we see a battle out of the final hairpin then. Again, it's the 125 and the 133. They are scrapping. It's Tomasa and Vonk. And Mika Vonk wants that position then from Tomasa down in towards the first hairpin we go. A battle here for 6th place as Mika Vonk out of that slow speed section now gets a move up the inside. It's the old up and under, trying to see what they can do for in terms of position then. Still no way through that at that moment for Mika Vonk. Tomasa defending this one hard towards the end of the race. 2 laps to go now for Holthausen. Makes his way through in towards the first hairpin. Commanding lead right now. A little bit of lappery to deal with. That's the 112 of Noah Stiehouder. Just watching on the start-finish straights as well as Mika Vonk still right on the back then of Nicky Naruhito Tomasa in the 125 down towards the first hairpin. Will be really interesting to see if Mika Vonk could make a move, will attempt to move towards the end of this pre-final. There is your pre-final leader here in the Mini-Maxes. As Tygo Holthausen rounds the final corner now. Almost a press on when he sees the final lap board. But Tygo Holthausen right now is a 4.2 second lead over Klinkers then. Mick Klinkers in the 104, with blue flags being waved then. Holthausen has done a fine job here, considering Holthausen, I believe, started 9th place in this race. Put those slight woes of quali behind him, and Tygo Holthausen now, as he makes his way towards that left-hander for the final time, and at least this pre-final, swooping through in towards the final S's section, down towards the final hairpin. And one last time this race, he'll get back onto the power. It's Tygo Holthausen who takes the victory here in the pre-final for the Minimaxes. It's Klinkers across the line in second place, Mick Klinkers in the 104. And Julian Dermer, who had that spin, or at least had that off in the gravel and lost 3 or 4 positions, does very well to recover to 3rd place and ends the race for Julian Dermer with a personal best of 54.7 across the line. That battle for 6th place between Tomasa and Vonk ended in favour of Tomasa in the 125, who picks up 6th place. Ahead of them, it was Tim Darnan in the 124, who finished in 4th place. 5th place went the way of the 114 of Milano Shiphorst. As we see there, there's the 113 and the 151 across the line. That's Klaver and Grabov. That was for 13th and 14th respectively. And last driver, at least on the lead lap, across the line is the 166 of Lennart Kirster. So, results then from the pre-final of the Minimax. Tygo Holthausen takes a 5.4 second lead victory ahead of Mick Klinkers. It's Julian Dermer in 3rd place, Jim Darnan in 4th with Milano Shiphorst in 5th, Nicky Naruhito Tomasa in 6th place with Mika Vonk in 7th, Tren van Melik in 8th place with Pelle van Echtel recovering to 9th place after that early off, Yara Kivitz-Bosch in 10th place there, rounding off our top 10. Great racing stuff from our Minimaxes there. We have our Max Juniors coming up shortly.